Jaylen Harrelson has set some official visits. This is a guy that you are well familiar with, Cartel. You and your program have been after this kid for what feels like a decade now. I got to be honest. There's some names like being who we are, and we talk a lot of Michigan State basketball. Like there are just some names that you come to associate with like that's an Izzo guy. That's who Izzo's prioritizing. And I swear it feels like Jalen Harrelson has been that guy for like literally 5 years. Jalen Harrelson, if you're unfamiliar with him, 5-star, 12th rated player, according to ESPN in the class of 2025. He is from Fishers, Indiana, a 6'7" forward. Really good player. Would you consider him a big more than you would like a wing?
I consider him a guard.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's a guard.
I'm gonna need you to flesh that out a little more. I've always viewed him as like a 3-4 hybrid, but maybe I'm off on this.
I think that I think his passing ability honestly shows the more to be a guard. Like he gives me I don't think he's a point guard necessarily. I think that might be stretching it a little bit. But he's way closer to a guard than a wing in my opinion, just given his playmaking ability.
Okay. Give the people a full Jalen Harrelson breakdown, if you don't mind. This is a kid that has played some Team USA events. He again, very, very talented kid. His 3 official visits are Indiana, Notre Dame, and Michigan State. We'll talk more about those in a little bit. But for those that haven't seen him, give the Jalen Harrelson scout here.
Well, for starters, I love this kid. I love him. If he finds his way to Michigan State, you will see me cry grown man tears on the timeline because we talk about a lot of players on here, and I mean there is a part of this that's like I've been watching Jaylen Harrelson for a long time because the La Lu ties. He plays a La Lu mirror for high school ball and plays for the Indy Heat on the EYBL circuit. Just always kind of been watching him, hoping that Michigan State would get him. He was a teammate of Jeremy Fears when they played on the circuit, and even going back to the La Lu days. But I think he's a 6'8" wing with guard skills. Like I truly think that he is a guard. He fills up the stat sheet. He's always productive. He wins at every level he plays at. I think that Jaylen Harrelson, wherever he goes, is going to be a one and done future top 10 pick in the NBA draft. I just think that his skill set and his size just honestly make him one of the more intriguing players in this whole class.
Yeah, he I called him I asked you if he's a wing or a big. I called him a forward. Like everything lists him as a point guard now. I'm just seeing this. That stuns me.
I
That
could
stuns
see
me.
it. I could see. I really could see it. I think there's maybe some more development to it, but he's a guard.
So when I look, I'll just own I botched this. But when I see anything about Jalen Harrelson come on the timeline, like I've watched film, I've seen clips people share. It's like him just catching it off 2 feet, like dunking at the rim constantly. So I just sort of assumed this kid's like I know that the frame is 6'7". I just sort of assumed this was like more of a wing hybrid type guy. I haven't seen a lot of film of him doing like ball screen primary playmaker stuff. Like, is that part of his game or no?
Yeah. Oh no, it is. Like he plays the point for his
Oh,
high school team, and honestly on the circuit, I believe he does too. Like he's a give him the ball and he asserts himself using his size. He's able to just make all these passes because guys are honestly too small for him, and he's able to play make like I'll pick and rolls and things like that. The guard skills are there.
okay, so I just disrespected Jalen Harrelson. I'm way off on exactly what he is positionally. That's on me, hand up. I mentioned his 3 official visits that he has lined up. He has Michigan State, he has Notre Dame, and he has Indiana as 3 official visits that he is officially going to take this summer. I think there are dates attached too. Michigan State got the 3rd official visit here. You had a whole thing you wanted to get into about like timing of official visits. Do you care about any of that?
So the thing is, it's hard to feel a certain way about some of these official visits given like NIL and money play. It's like back before NIL was a thing, I used to love getting the last visit. Like some people still do love getting the last visit, but getting the last visit sometimes meant like you get the last shot before the other people and just make your big impact. And there's no other visits after that, and just make your impression right there, and it works out. Now it's like, is a kid visiting this school first to get the money out there? Are they visiting this school just to even leverage more money from the other school? It's just it's an inner conflict with me to how to feel about official visits and where they're set nowadays.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
But I will say there is some importance with him visiting on September 14th for Michigan State. Not that it's just the last visit. That is going to be like the alumni grind week thing, grind weekend, supposedly. So like, I love that. I really love that because that's kind of been a big thing. It's a real big thing in Michigan State basketball circles, and I love getting recruits on campus for that weekend specifically. And I think recruits really like it too.
Can I make a proposal on that, by the way?
What's up?
Like grind week is legit. It's really cool to watch. The way like former Michigan State players come back and embrace the program and are embraced by the program is very rare. I have no way to make fun of this. It's just truly special and rare and cool. With that said, here's a suggestion of if I were maybe trying to help grind week go as well as it possibly could, maybe land a commitment from Jalen Harrelson and all that. Let's invite players that played up until Xavier Tillman got to college. Let's get Xavier Tillman, recent NBA champion, with his ring. Maybe bring the trophy to the whatever it's called, Larry LB. Bring that. Cash can come with him. Everybody up until Xavier Tillman, you're invited this year. I don't need to see Marcus Bingham scrimmaging with Jaylen Harrelson. Don't need to see it. No disrespect. I don't know if AJ Hogarth's getting an invite this year. A couple other guys I could name that I will leave off the list. But let's lock in this year because I think the last couple years have gotten a little sloppy, Cart.
Yeah, we had Derek Nix up there.
Just a suggestion. That's all from the outside. But no, it is a big deal that he's coming on that specific date. Also, I'm still fixated on this. I'm not the only one getting this wrong then. On3 lists him as a forward, 6'7" forward. So there are some people that are calling him like a wing forward, and there are some people that are calling him a point guard. Maybe he's positionless? Is he a unicorn?
There's not many people with his size that had the guard abilities that he has.
It's crazy. So Notre Dame, Indiana, Michigan State. My initial impression of that list was very winnable recruitment for Michigan State. Do you agree with me on that?
I do, but I think there's pretty big Indiana ties with him though. Like he's from the state of Indiana. He's had family that's went to Indiana. He actually ended that quote, Coach Woodson is kind of like family now. And then he ended this article with, in his own words, I'm a family guy. So I'm looking for a family culture and environment and a style of play that'll be big for me.
Wait, the full quote on Indiana is, I was Coach Woodson's first offer in his office. So that tells you a lot. My brother went there. That's the school I know the most. My cousin-in-law was Mrs. Indiana there. It's the hometown school. Like, okay, I didn't realize
it's just a family connection with them. Coach Woodson is kind of like family now.
Yeah, you can't invite Marcus Bingham. That's official. This is
but with that said, Michigan State has been on Harrelson for a very long time. I think they've invested a lot into him. And if Michigan State's going to win a recruitment one, I'm scared of it because Indiana's bags right now is not something that Michigan State is willing to compete with. I'm not going to say they can't. They're not willing to compete.
They don't have that in their game. They don't have that in their game.
Which is some bullshit. Get it in your game.
They don't have that in their game. It's okay.
Get it in your game. It's not that hard. Get it in your game. But like, hopefully that September 14th visit looks a lot like family. He also mentioned Saudi in his quote about Michigan State, which I'm loving the Saudi effect so far. I'm accompanying to it.
You're going to love Saudi. I miss Saudi. Yeah, he said Coach Saudi was recruiting me at Michigan. Now he's at Michigan State. You will realize Michigan is no longer on Jaylen Harrelson's list. Michigan State is. Saudi's really good, man. Like, this is a huge addition for you.
The thing is, I know you asked me how I feel about this. The part that scares me the most is that I'm putting myself in like Indiana's shoes. Like I'm Indiana's recruiting people. If I'm Indiana, I would count this as a loss if they lose this recruitment. He's from Indiana. He's got the family ties. You got the bag. Mike Woodson made Jalen Hood, didn't make him, but like Jaylen Harrelson probably watched Jalen Hood Schifino, and a lot of the stuff that he did, I think Jaylen Harrelson can do. I just think there's a good pitch for him there for Indiana. With that said, strap that shit up, Hoosier Nation. Like, I know I've been all on like y'all being good, but also like strap up. I'll see y'all September 14th. Let's have this dance. Let's dance. I'm willing to look Mike Woodson in his eyes and let's dance real quick.
I don't think you want that.
I don't think he wants that. He's got 2 left feet.
As an unbiased partisan, I don't think you want that. Is this a win for Notre Dame that they're getting an official? That feels like a Shrews win.
It does. It does. Man, I want Shrews to get some guys. Honestly, I wouldn't even hate. I would hate losing Indiana because, like, obviously Jaylen Harrelson, I think, is going to bust Michigan State's ass for how many years he's there. Probably only 1 year. I would love to see Shrews get some dogs there because I think he'd make it work.
Yeah, advantage Mike Woodson, because Mike Woodson would never say, I would love to see Jalen Harrelson at Notre Dame. And you just said that. So that's advantage Woodson. It does warrant mentioning, we're talking about these official visits upcoming: Notre Dame, Michigan State, and Indiana. It's not just those 3. He still has a final 9. Gonzaga, Duke, Missouri, Purdue, and Kansas are still in his final 9. And he already took an official to Auburn, who has the bags to match whatever's going on in Bloomington. Are you worried about any of those other 6 schools?
I'm worried about any schools that have bags. Yeah.
Worried about
I'm not worried
Auburn,
about Gonzaga. I'm not even worried about Missouri, to be honest with you. But Duke scares me. Kansas scares me. Indiana scares me. Auburn, bags, all that.
Does that mean Purdue doesn't scare you?
No.
Interesting. Why do you think Purdue's on this list?
I think out of respect for Coach Paint and that he's an Indiana kid.
Okay. All right. Okay. There you have it. There's your Jaylen Harrelson updates. I'm going to figure out by the end of the day what position this kid plays. Damn it. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just 1 click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.